Most people, when they hear the word mundane or boring, they automatically think negative. The way that we've approached life and marriage is that if I think about life, 90% of it happens in the mundane. What I mean by that is like you get up and you pretty much do the same stuff every day. And I think that's where the joy is. I look for ways where I can say, if today was a lot like yesterday, I think that's a good thing. I think how we get good in life is by doing the same stuff over and over.
So you ask me this all the time. Hey, what does your perfect day look like? And then we try to like reverse engineer that. I'm like, okay, how do we make the perfect day happen as often as possible?
I went to a seminar one time. He was the first guy that opened my eyes to life is about reverse engineering what you want. He had the concept of what does your perfect business look like? And then from that concept, he worked down to what does your perfect week look like? And then what does your perfect day look like? He's like, once you get clear on your perfect day, he's like, the key to life is just having that day as many times as you can over and over.
Welcome to the Married with the Muchicos podcast. We are so glad you're here.
It's got a name ring to it.
I know. If you have been here before, you might notice the name change due to some legal matters. We had to change our name. Married with the Muchicos should be pretty safe, I think.
Yes, I think so.
Here we are. We have not sat here in a little while.
It's been a little while, I know.
It's been a little while.
Dropping the ball, man.
I know, major. So I'm excited to be back. Should be fun.
I'm excited. Yes.
How's life going for you?
Well, life is pretty awesome. I mean, a couple of reasons. I got this matcha. So, by the way, we usually grab Starbucks before the podcast. And, you know, I mix it up every now and then, but this is probably the staple. The matcha tea latte from Starbucks. I've been getting it with non-fat milk because, you know, I'm trying to keep the calories a little bit lower right now. But life is good. Partly because of the matcha, partly because we're back in the studio, and partly because, I mean, you know, what is there to complain about?
Not much.
How about for you?
Not much. Life's good. Yeah. Football season started again last week.
Oh man, we're like in the thick of it. You're in the thick of it.
Well, that keeps us really busy. So Richard coaches our oldest son. I'm like the team administrator for our younger son. Our girls are in cheerleading for the first time this year.
They're so cute.
It's so cute. But for the first couple weeks, football is 5 days a week. It's a big.
It's intense.
It's a big thing.
But at the same time, it gives us something to do at night, which is nice.
It gives us something to do, and I mean, I don't know about you. I love it. Like,
you love what?
I think football season is the best time of the year. Like, people think it's Christmas season. Like, no, it's football season. I just love it. So I'm really happy to be back, and
yeah,
it'll be a fun year.
No, it's a great time, and it's good for the boys, and I mean everybody. You know, it starts making our boys into men, start hitting people, and
get that testosterone flowing. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
we need more manly men.
Need some more free tea flowing.
Yeah.
Or what's that called? Free tea, yeah, something
like that.
Yeah.
But that kind of leads us to a perfect little segue into what we're talking about today. Because like I said, football's 5 days a week. It gives us a good routine. And today we're talking about boring and how boring can be really good.
Yes.
And at least I thrive in boring. I love routine. I love stability. I love my color-coded calendar. I love all of it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about today.
That's a great subject.
Yeah, it is. So what are your initial thoughts when you hear that topic?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna speak for the audience. I think most people, when they hear the word mundane or boring, they automatically think negative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would say most people probably think that. But I think, you know, the way that we've approached life and marriage is that if I think about life, 90% of it happens in the mundane, right? And what I mean by that is like you get up and you pretty much do the same stuff every day. And partly, and I think that's where the joy is, to be honest. And so I look for ways where I can say, you know, if today was a lot like yesterday, I think that's a good thing. And I think how we get good in life is by doing the same stuff over and over. I mean, that's how you perfect things. It's like, okay, today I'm going to get up, I'm going to do the same stuff, but then today I'm going to be a little bit better than yesterday doing the same stuff. And that boring repetition, mundane repetition is like you get better.
But what if you're doing the wrong thing over and over and over again?
Yeah, I think so. But look, I mean, there's a couple ways of thinking about it. I do think that there's truth in that. It's like you're doing the wrong stuff over and over and over. But this is something that I truly believe. And, I didn't think like this before, but how I truly think about it is that the best always get rewarded. And so even if you're doing the wrong thing in the best way, you will be rewarded. And what I mean by that is, let's just say you're doing, let's just say, like, give me an example of something that you're doing in the wrong way. Like,
Okay. I don't want to. Okay.
okay, give me,
We've talked about this before. Like, you can be in the wrong vehicle. And it's like, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're in the wrong vehicle, like, say you're a grocery store clerk. There's nothing wrong with that. We need grocery store clerks. But if you're trying to support your family, like, that's probably not the right vehicle. You're going to jump in a different vehicle at some point.
Yes. Now, I would say for 99% of the time, I would agree. But the 1%ers, the grocery store clerk right now that shows up every day, gives more effort than everybody else, is nicer than everybody else, is shaking hands, greeting people, people will notice. And this is what I guarantee you. I mean, if you look at the Cheetos guy that ended up working where did he start?
He was the janitor.
He was the janitor,
right?
He was a janitor. But guess what? The boss came by and recognized him. He said, "Hey, look, this guy works hard. He's pleasant.
That's not even true. That's not how that story goes.
I think it is.
Oh, he had a good idea.
And then he had a good idea. But the reason why the boss recognized the idea, the only reason why he recognized the idea is because that guy was a great janitor. And he even says it in the story.
So if you guys don't know what you're talking about, you need to go look up how hot Cheetos even became a thing.
Yeah, it's an amazing story.
Amazing story. But you can go back and look at that. But yeah. Okay, so you're talking
but what I can say is, like, even in our own business, we've had people start very low, but you recognize the best. And when you see the best coming out of people and you notice that there's something different about this person, like they go above and beyond. They do everything with 100% effort. They never make excuses. You get recognized and you get rewarded for that. And I think a lot of times we discount that. And I even think back to my old job with my dad. If you don't know, when I was working as a truck driver, I didn't give 100% effort. I kind of threw up my hands and said, this place sucks. This is that. Totally. And did it suck? Yeah. But I could have given way more effort. I could have been the guy that said no excuses, and I could have showed up better every day. And I think if I would have done that, I would have not only been maybe more rewarded in the job, but I also would have been more rewarding back to myself. And so, like, it wasn't the right job, but I also wasn't the right employee.
But even if you had been, like, there would have been a cap there.
It would have been a cap. There would have been a cap. But I do think that I would have found a lot more opportunity. And I think that's a principle, even coaching just my son in football. Like, there's always room for the best. Always. And if you're going to do anything, just do it the best. And if you do it the best, I guarantee you, 99 times out of 100, you will get rewarded for it. And it's just how life works. I mean, that's what I've come to realize. This is how life works.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. But I also don't think you 100% are in the camp that you're saying right now. Because that
I took a different path. I kind of just said, well, this wasn't for me. This is that. I'm going to go, take some risk in life and all that. But I do think that you have to have a certain temperament for that. Like, everybody has a certain risk tolerance in their life. And my risk tolerance tends to be a little bit higher. I'm willing to take more risks in life, but I don't think you need to. Like, I don't think you have to be a me. You don't have to be, you need to be you. But the thing is, you have to be the best version of you. And if you're the best version of you, you will get rewarded. I mean, there's not a job, a place, a person that doesn't recognize the best. And that's just a belief that now I have, because I can see it in our own company. I wish people in our own company knew the capability they had within the company if they just gave 100% effort and they went above and beyond. I mean, they would get rewarded so much and they would rise to the top so much faster if they thought like that, but they just don't. So I don't know. I think everybody's got their different flair. But if you're not a risk tolerant person, if you're not going to go out there and say, hey, I'm going to go out and start my own thing, or I'm going to take out a $250,000 SBA loan and go do this, or I'm going to take my kids out of high school. I mean, look, these are risks that some people are maybe adverse to, but I don't think it necessarily has to go that way. I don't know. That's my thought process on it.
I don't disagree at all. But I also think there are better vehicles than others. And so if
100%.
you're
I agree with
like,
that.
not even that you have to like be an entrepreneur and risk everything, but if you're, if you're in a position where you just feel like, even if I'm the best, like you're looking at the best and like, okay, even that is not where I want to be, you might have to jump into a different vehicle, is all I'm saying.
For sure. Yeah, you might. You definitely might.
And I don't think it's necessarily wise to stay in the wrong vehicle and just say, I'm going to be the best at this. It's like, no, just like let that vehicle go and jump into a different one. And that might be a better path.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but how does that apply to, I guess, this episode? Like boring, mundane. How do you find the beauty in that?
Well, okay. So first I'll say that humans have an incredible ability to find normal in anything.
Yeah.
So like, well, I think the boring and the normal is so important. I also think that you can jump and take risks and then you'll find the normal there, so like,
Yeah.
so you have to be willing to do that. And I think that's really important. But I think where the boring and the mundane comes in is just like so you ask me this all the time. Babe, what does your perfect day look like? And then we try to like reverse engineer that and like, okay, how do we make the perfect day happen as often as possible? Like, how do we make that more of our norm? And for us, the perfect day is like, okay, we were together as a family and we did this. And like, it's not like, okay, we were on a beach in Mexico, because obviously that can't be your normal, but that's not really what our perfect day would be anyways.
Yeah.
But if trying to analyze what is our perfect day and then reverse engineer that and try to make that your normal.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up, because I took I went to a seminar one time, and it was called Your Perfect Day Workshop. And it was by a guy named Craig Ballantyne. You probably know Craig Ballantyne. It was with Bedros, but he was the first guy that opened my eyes to life is about reverse engineering what you want. And he had the concept of what does your perfect business look like? And then from that concept, he worked down to, let's back it all the way up to what does your perfect week look like? And then what does your perfect day look like? And then he's like, once you get clear on your perfect day, he's like, the key to life is just having that day as many times as you can over and over.
Yeah.
And if you look at our perfect day, it's very much the same. Like, I think we almost live our perfect, I pretty much live our perfect day. I wake up pretty much, I don't use an alarm clock. That was a big thing. I don't like alarm clocks anymore. And then I learn in the morning. We have coffee with the kids and you and I, which I love. Then I do some work stuff from like 8 to 12. Then usually we'll work out, get lunch as a family, hang out. Then I might do some more work stuff from like 2 to whatever, 4. And then we have our night time routine. And like, that's my perfect day. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty mundane. I mean, it's the same thing over and over and over, but it's like what I wanted, or what you wanted. And we find a lot of beauty in that. So I'm glad you brought up the perfect day.
Yeah. I didn't realize you got that from Craig Ballantyne. I thought that was just something that you thought of. But
he was super intentional in life. Like, he was the one guy that taught, like, you taught me intentionality, but then he took that into the business sector. And then that's when it really like had some like these light bulb moments with like, oh wow, like that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I know now some people thrive in like the normal mundane, and then other people thrive in like the always needing something new and exciting. And
yeah.
So for people like that, like, how would you encourage them to like see the beauty in the mundane? If there's someone who's always looking for the new thing, the next thing, the big thing, the whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I've known people like that. What I can say is that it's very hard to get good at anything with that mentality.
What do you call that? You call that something.
Well, you can call it, the shiny object syndrome,
Yeah, the idea fairy.
the
That's
idea
what you
fairy
call it.
syndrome,
Yeah.
and I've come across a lot of people that are idea fairies, and they're always on to the next thing. They're always on to the newest venture or whatever. But here's just the truth and the reality of the matter is that anything that you want out of life that is going to set you apart, that is going to make you, the top 5%, it's doing it unreasonably for a long period. And it's like, that's how you do it. Like, it's doing the same thing over and over. I mean, if you look at a parent, why is parenting like so hard? It's because you're literally doing the same thing over, correcting, teaching, correcting, teaching, putting clothes on, like that. But if you just say, you know what, this is like, if you have the mentality of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get like 1% better today as a parent than I was yesterday, right? With teaching my kids, disciplining my kids, getting them prepared for life. Like that consistency and repetition and mundane, boring work is what will make you great. And the people that are always changing and shifting, they're always going from this thing, this idea, this new parenting method, this parenting style, that homeschool style, this homeschool style. You never, like, you're always going to reach a point where if you're doing the same thing, it's going to suck. There's always a suck factor. But it's the people that go through the suck factor over and over and over and then break through the suck factor that become great at anything. It doesn't matter what the topic is. Marriage, is marriage always fun? No. There's a lot of mundane in marriage. But if you learn like, wait, it doesn't mean I have to go on to the next new shiny marriage thing or marriage tactic or marriage book. It's like, no, this is the lane. We've already reverse engineered what we want. Now it's a matter of doing it. And some days are not going to be as pleasant as others, but it doesn't mean that you need to go on to the new thing. It just means that you're in a period of suck, and everything has periods of suck. But the suck, and which another episode we're going to get into, is the suck is what also makes you grow and makes you better. It's not the periods of great that makes you better. It's the periods of suck, And
Well, and the periods of great only come after the periods of suck.
after the
You
periods
don't
of
get
suck.
the great without the suck.
You don't get great without the suck. And I've just met so many people that I wish that I could just gear their attention to say, dude, you don't need the next shiny thing. Like, that's not the solution. You know this because you keep moving to the next shiny thing. The reason why you keep doing that is because when you hit the period of suck, you think,
Fail.
oh, there's something else that's better. But then you hit the other thing, and then you hit the period of suck again. And you're like, oh, wait, there's something better. And you never break through to the gold, right? The gold's there, but you just got to keep going. And that's the mundane. That's the boring. But if you can find like if you can reframe your mind to say, man, this is how I'm going to strike gold in life, then it makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Well,
at the very beginning, you said that, like there's a negative connotation to boring.
yeah.
But what if we could reframe that and say that boring's not a negative? Boring could also just mean predictable.
Yes.
It means stable.
Yeah.
Like those are good things. Like reframe boring as a good thing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tony Robbins talks about how every human has needs, right? But there's two human needs that are contrary to one another. So a human need that we all have is consistency. Like we all need to know, like to have some level of certainty in our life that this wall, I don't think this ceiling is going to fall on me right now. If I didn't think that, I would feel uneasy as a human, right? So we have a need for certainty, but then we also have a second need, which is variety. Because if we don't have any variety in our life, then eventually it's like, well, dude, there's nothing to look forward to. Like you don't want to have nothing to look forward to in life, right? So I think that there is a need for variety, and I think you should have it in your life. Like there should be times where, okay, you're going to do a crazy vacation. You're going to do a crazy thing with the kids. You're going to do I think these moments of crazy are really good for you. But to make it a mantra in your life to where it's always crazy, it's always chaotic, it's always,
right.
That's
chaos.
That's just chaos, So I think there is a balance there, but I do think that the mundane and boring is tricky for people. They're always thinking.
So now let me ask you a question. Now this is going down a different avenue that I didn't see this going, but how do you have variety in marriage when marriage is one person for the rest of your life, right? How do you satisfy that human need for variety when they're with one person for 50, 60, 70 years? How do you do that?
Well, I think you should answer it, but I think there's a lot of ways you could do it. I mean, you can have variety in the bedroom with different stuff. You could have variety in your like date nights and dates. I mean, you can have variety in the things you do as a couple, as a family. I mean, there's so many different ways to have variety. That doesn't require a different wife or husband. You don't need a new husband to have variety, you know?
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, that's how I look at it. Like, look, if you're going to go on a date and maybe your normal date is you go to, you know, for us, we go to, I don't know, we go to the same 5 spots. We go to Thai food, Mediterranean food, steakhouse, and we just repeat that over and over. But how we do variety sometimes is we'll like change it up. Like we'll just do something out of the ordinary, if we want to, and that's a variety right there. So, but I think you have to be intentional about it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting concept that I'd never really thought about. But if you're saying humans have a need for consistency and for variety, that's kind of an interesting concept in marriage.
And I know, and look, and I've seen it play out in our marriage. Like there's periods where you literally have to change everything. Like you'll be going steady, and all of a sudden you'll just clean out every single drawer. You'll clean out every single closet. You'll get new things, and you're like, I need to just change things up.
Yeah.
And that's your human need for variety right there, like coming out literally in display. And I get that too sometimes where I just think like, dude, I need to change my investment strategy. I need to, whatever it is, right? It's because like we get to these points in life where we just feel like this need to change things up.
Yeah.
And
I think, and I'm for your benefit, I think you might even be misinterpreting that a little bit. I think that when I get into this crazy, like I need to clean out every drawer, it's the opposite. It's like, okay, things feel crazy and I need to like control my space and like simplify this because everything else is feeling crazy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like doing the opposite for me.
But in that sense, it is right. Like you are changing things up because you're in a way of life and you're like, oh, I need to change it. I need to add variety because what is currently you're experiencing is the sameness. And you're like, I don't like the sameness. I want to change.
No, it's the opposite because what I'm feeling is chaos and I need to like, I value peace like as a moral. Like peace is.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I just need to feel peace here. And like, what do you always say? Husa.
Husa.
I need to husa this place.
I think you said husa.
Whatever.
It's rusa. Husa.
But I think that another important thing to know in your marriage is like, so Rich and I, we've been married for 12 years. We've been together, oh my gosh, 20?
Yeah.
19 years?
Oh, yes.
It's like, it's been a long time. But in that series of 19 years, I've probably been with 3 or 4 different people in you. Like you've changed so much and evolved so much that you're not the same person you were when you were 16.
Oh, yeah.
It's like even within your marriage, if you're married to the same person for 50 years, you're married to a different person several times over in that period because people change so much.
Yes.
And just the evolution I've seen in you has been so mind-blowing that that's not boring or mundane at all. Even though you're the same person, the same body, the same personality in front of me, it keeps the variety because new ideas are always happening. And, it's just that's where the variety in marriage comes from. I think it's just continuing to like approach your spouse with curiosity and wanting to know, like, how did you come to that conclusion? Like, where did you get that idea? Where did, like really trying to explore that with your spouse and you'll never reach the bottom of it ever. And that's part of the fun. And then the beauty of that is that it's still the same person and that's beautiful.
It is.
But it's also exciting because they're always different. There's always more.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, so, what I would say is, if you're in a period right now, like if a marriage is in a period right now where they just feel like, man, life is just mundane, like, I got to get up. I got to, do X. I would say the first step is this. It's like, okay, what does your perfect day look like? And how far off are you from that perfect day? Because like if every day you're getting up and you're just like, this sucks, this is stupid, like I don't like it, the merit, this, it's like obviously you're pretty far off from your perfect day. And maybe you haven't taken the time to even think about what that looks like,
Mhm.
in your life. And maybe it's not realistic to say, well, yeah, my perfect day is this, but like there's no way I could do my perfect day. It's like, yeah, but that's not the point. The point is knowing what it is so then you can take steps to work towards it,
Mhm.
right? It doesn't happen overnight. But then once you have your perfect day, you realize that the mundane is the beautiful thing of life
Mhm.
because you're doing what you want to do day in and day out. And of course, it becomes repetitious, but that's the beauty in it. You know, it's like, this is my beautiful life. You designed it.
Mhm.
Like, now other people might look at it and say, I would hate that
I don't
life.
want that. Yeah.
I would hate that. But that's great. That's not you. That's their life. Who cares?
Yeah, you don't want to live a life that you look at and hate, though.
Yeah.
Like what do you have to do to make your life something that you enjoy, not for someone else, but for you?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I think, to go back to your perfect day formula, I think that's why a lot of people maybe find a lot of heartache in the mundane is simply because of that
Mm.
factor.
Okay, so I guess the first step to even enjoying the mundane is reverse engineering your perfect day and make your perfect as close to your perfect day as possible your new boring, and then you enjoy the boring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's the key.
I think so. I mean, it's no different than I think you imagine, okay, what does my perfect parenting playbook look like? What does my perfect marriage look like? What does my perfect job look like? I mean, it's the same in all those, you know. But if you don't ask the questions, how do you ever know?
Mhm.
And then the mundane is working towards it. It's like, okay, I know what my perfect day, my perfect marriage, my perfect this looks like. Now it's like you take the steps, and the steps is what's mundane. It's like you do that over and over and over, but you're working towards those things,
Yeah. Well, and here's something I kind of want to encourage wives with is, so Pastor Miles Monroe, remember him?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Yeah, it was sad because he died in a car crash or
a
a plane crash.
or
Yeah,
something. Yeah. Oh,
I loved him.
he,
It was great.
he was
Great.
phenomenal. But
Miles Monroe.
he does this sermon about women, and
It's a
it's
great one.
so beautiful. I'm going to try to link it in the show notes. But a lot of it, like, so as a wife, if you're reverse engineering your day and you're thinking like, I just want my husband with the family all day. Like here's what I want to encourage you with is that men, if we go back to Adam and Eve, right? Adam was created for work. Like he was created and God gave him a job to do.
Yeah.
And then God created Eve and he created Eve for Adam.
Yes.
But he created Adam for his work.
Yeah.
And so as a wife, a lot of women can think like, oh my gosh, my husband wants to work. He doesn't want to be with the family. Like how awful. But I would want to reframe that as like a man needs to work. You can just be with your home and be with your children. And that might be your perfect day. It's not going to be your husband's perfect day. And it's not that he doesn't love you enough. It's that men were created for productivity and for work and for value.
Mm-hmm.
And women, our value is our family and our husband, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like allow your husband the freedom for his perfect day to include work. I think that's really important for women to know. That his perfect day will probably look different than yours.
Yep. But when they come together, it's perfect.
Oh, it's beautiful. But don't fight against his need for work because he was created for it.
Yeah, and we also take the biblical marriage where the biblical perspective that the man is kind of the visionary and the one that sets the vision of the family, and then the woman is the helper of that vision. Mm-hmm. So it's like you both are involved. Woman comes alongside to make the man stronger and accomplish more and help in that ultimate vision. And the man.
Right. And like you said, we take the biblical worldview.
Yeah.
And that's the way we approach marriage and life.
Yeah.
And this is our belief.
Yeah.
And you take it or leave it. But that is the way like creation was ordered and designed.
Yeah.
So you could try to fight against it, but you're going to be fighting against your own design.
Yeah.
I just really wouldn't recommend that. I just wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for us, it's so simple because it's like if it's in the Bible and it's biblical, that's kind of the way we try to do most things, which simplifies life.
Right. But,
Yeah.
like, because our belief and our very firm belief is that the Bible is true. And so coming from that perspective, you can not acknowledge that it's true all you want and try to fight against it. It's still going to be true, and you're still going to be fighting against it.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, truth is truth.
truth is truth. It doesn't matter if you acknowledge it or not.
Yeah, that's right.
But okay, that was interesting. Do you have any other thoughts on? I guess so. That was different than I expected in that you almost have to kind of like work towards the boring before you can enjoy the boring in a way.
Well, maybe you find purpose in the boring. There's got to be a purpose for it.
Yeah. But like we talked about at the very beginning, like if you're doing the wrong boring, I don't know how enjoyable that is. You have to kind of work to the right boring, and then like normalize that before that boring becomes enjoyable, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think there's a notion that says that life has to always be fun. And I believe in the concept of obviously having a great life, right? But just because it's not fun, you have seasons of not fun, doesn't mean you're not in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And don't take, this is just, this sucks right now. This is not fun right now. Don't take that as a sign that you need to change.
Well, that's one thing I remind myself of all the time, like very, very actively, because you're very, very generous and you've been very gracious with me, and you've always told me like, babe, we can hire somebody to do the laundry. Like we can hire somebody to cook. You don't have to do any of this, but I want to. So like I always tell you, no, I will not hire anybody to do this because I want to do it. So when I'm doing the laundry and I'm complaining about the piles of laundry in the hallway, I have to remind myself like, you're choosing this. Like stop it, and just because I do believe that the mundane and the boring is good, and I believe that that's my calling. I believe that's where I should be. And so, but I have to remind myself like, you are choosing this. So knock it off. Don't complain about it because your husband's giving you an out that you're not taking. Just drive through the boring because it's where you're called to be. Just go through it because it's good.
And I think you also have the perspective that it's good for the kids to see it too.
It's good for the kids. It's good for me to serve my family. That's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. And like you said, like, it's good for my kids. One day, even if my kids can't afford to pay for the help in that way, I kind of
have robots. Still have robots. That's a whole nother episode.
I don't know. I just feel like doing those things is good. It's good. Serving people is good. All right, babe. Give us the recap. Way to ride summary.
Well, you give us the recap. I've been doing the recaps over and over.
No. It's her. Called it first.
Well, I mean, my recap is step one. I would say learn to design your life, because look, God created the world. God is a creator, which means you are a creator. Like you have this creation power within you.
Yes.
And I think step number one is create your ideal world. Like, what does that look like? Day, marriage, everything, right? And then take the steps towards it. And then realize as you take the steps towards it, it's mundane, and it's boring, and it's the same thing over and over. But knowing that that's where the gold is in your life, that's where the ultimate gold lives. That's what I think brings a lot of joy in it. And so I think if you're in these seasons right now where you're feeling like it's just you're maybe going nowhere in your marriage, you're going nowhere with your kids, you feel like this, I don't think that's the point. The point is knowing that where you're ultimately going, even if you're not there yet, where you're ultimately going is here, and you know that, and you've designed it. That's the ultimate goal. And I think you gotta just learn to find joy in that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. If tomorrow sucks, it's okay. Like, it might suck for a little while. And then, you have seasons. We always talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Seasons of summer and spring, good seasons, so, and then for a lot, seasons of winter and fall, I mean, can be maybe a little bit more negative, right? But everything's a season. And you might be in a season of winter. But guess what? When you're in a season of winter, what's around the corner? Season of spring.
Mm-hmm.
But you just got to go through those seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think the beauty of life, if you can reframe your head and your mind around, dude, there's beauty in winter because spring is coming, I think that brings a lot of joy in life.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing, we have a nephew who's like a theologian and he like thinks super deeply, but one thing he always talks about is that you don't know a straight line unless you have a crooked line to compare it to.
That's a good point.
And like you can't know good without having bad to compare it to, you know? So like
Yes.
you can't really enjoy the fruit of life unless you've gone through the winter to compare it to.
Yeah.
And so you got to be thankful for both seasons
Yeah.
because they're both amplify each other, I think.
That's a great point. Who's his name? Joe Rogan. He has this great, if you look it up on YouTube, you should look it up on YouTube. It's called like the yin and yang of life. And Joe Rogan goes on for 5 minutes talking about how you don't know joy until you know sadness.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know hard work until you don't know what peace feels like until you've had true unrest.
Mm-hmm.
You don't to your point, you don't know this until you know that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have unrest, and even if you have peace in your life, you won't even know you have peace because you've never felt unrest.
Right.
So you won't get enough, you won't even get joy out of it because you haven't felt the other.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, it's a great point. So I think it's good segue into it.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun. We're going to be back tomorrow recording again with a different topic. Should be fun. So,
oh, yeah.
I'll see you there. Thank you.
All right, guys. Peace out. Make sure you share, like, subscribe.
Share, like, subscribe.
Where's your other fellow marriagers? Is that a word? Marriagers?
It is not.
That's we should make that word up.
Now it is. All right.
Marriagers.
Love ya.
All right. Love you. Bye.